I'm gonna make with code a pergola. So that is this. A pergole. We're gonna make one of these now. So I'm just this is my template, my ray marching template that I've added some stuff to. So it's currently it has like a map function where all of these boxes are being generated, but I'm gonna get rid of this is just commented out code. I'm gonna get rid of that and we're gonna start with one box and we're gonna make the thing. There's also the ray marching function, the normal function, ambient occlusion function, some lighting functions, and that's pretty much how this works. So, and we're just going to use like the bare bones limited repetition. Like we're not going to do the one that's going to reduce artifacts, so there might be some if I try to do anything fancy, but that's okay. All right, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. Um, 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 so we'll take this out. So we're going to start with a sign distance field box with the P, and then we're going to have a vector with 4, as that's going to be our dimensions for each um, dimension of the box. So we got one box. Oh yeah, did I explain that? That the reason why this thing is flickering whenever I'm talking is because that's the new thing I added to my template. So now I have this, and I think it's a bit too much. Like let's just go a little bit lower on the brightness there. We don't need that much. This is cool, right? It's not like too distract. I mean, I don't know. Even like this. Yeah, we don't need to be too distracting. Just something, make it a bit more fancy. All right. Um, okay, so box. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to start with another P. We want to clone the P. The P is our position in the world as we ray march through it. We want to make another clone of that so we can do things to the clone without affecting the original, because we want to be able to use the original later on or during the whole process for other things. Like if we want to have it, if we want to have warping, we want to warp based on the original position, not the new one. Especially because we're gonna make the original, sorry, the clone repeat. So ID is going to be, no wait, so SP. So we have a spacing. We're gonna make a repetition on the cube. We're gonna space it out, start with 1, and so there's a bunch of ways to repeat things, and this should be PP now. The most basic one, I'm just going to try to keep repeating this every single time. The most basic way to repeat things is to do this. Oh my god. If I could just make it work. Make a smaller cube. The most basic way to repeat things is to use fract, which makes the whole world, we take the whole world that goes from like 0 to 100 with all the decimals, we take away all the integers, so it just goes from 0 to 1 and then it just repeats. Or 0 to 0.9999 and then repeats. So if we do that everywhere in the whole world, then we get a whole bunch of cubes. As you can see, we're just like right up against one of the cubes, so it's kind of like we're getting hit in the face constantly by cubes. There. So that's what we did. And then there's another way to do that, which is like what fract actually is. When I talk about like removing the integers, what we're really saying is we take the floor, which basically says, or the ceiling, which says the floor is like the the lowest integer out from wherever we are. So if we're at, you know, 10.99999, the floor of that is 10. So we're basically going to take the floor of every value and we're going to subtract that from the original value, like this, and that's going to give us only the IDs, which, well, we don't really want to. Yeah, so then that kind of does that, but now we have to do, like, since it goes from 0 to 1 or 0 to 0.9999, and because our box is being drawn on the 0 or like around on the zeros, we need some negative space. So we do that, now we got back what we had before. So that's one way to do it. You could also do ceiling. And why doesn't that work? I'm surprised that doesn't work. Are we gotta do, like, what's going on? Yeah, okay, so we have to do ceiling but -1. I don't know why ceiling doesn't work without this, but okay, so ceiling is like, instead of taking the lower value, we take the higher value. So if we're at 10.9999, we go up to 11. For some reason, if we do that, we have to subtract 1 from the P. Also, we should be using PP. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so the cooler way, even cooler than all of these though, is to use round, because round is like, you know, when you round money, like when you're, um, you know, when you round up, like when you're 5'11", right? Like me in terms of height, you round up to 6, or but if you were 5'5", then I guess you would just round down to 5. But no one's gonna do that. But anyways, that's a stupid example. What's a better example? Um, Pennies in Canada, we have pennies, but we used to have pennies. We don't now. So because we used to have pennies, like which is like 1 cent, now that we only have 5 cents, it's like the smallest amount we give back in terms of change. We have to round either up or down. So yeah, just rounding. Okay, so that's what this does. It rounds to the nearest integer. So because if it's over zero point 0.5, it rounds up. Less, it rounds down. So we're gonna do that, and then we subtract that, and we don't even need to do the negative zero point 0.5 because it automatically does that. Because when we round with like around like a middle range like that, the way rounding works, we automatically get something that goes from the negative to a positive of like, you know, that value. So we got that. So now if we just make that separate, let's make this a separate thing. Let's just use only one axis of it. So it'll be like ID is going to be equal to round pp.x. That's it. All right. And now, so just on the ppx, we're going to subtract the ID. So now we get just a row of boxes that just goes on forever. Pretty cool, right? And so now if we want to have like a limited repetition, so not all the boxes, but only some of them. So how many do we want? Right? So like for this, for example, we want like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want 7 of those bad boys. So let's go clamp, and we're gonna go from -3 to 3. So now we have it clamped. We only have 7 of those bad boys, right? Which is what we want. And the reason why clamp works so well is because it's like anything after the -3, it's like it carries on as if -3 was like where we were. Um, so that's good, right? Because the other option would be to just like take the union of like the not the union, the intersection of all of our boxes, that infinite row, and then some box. If we take the intersection of that, but like negative, so that we get rid of the box, we just keep those boxes, that row, then that would work. But then the field, like the sign distance field, would be like clipped. This kind of like makes it so that it's not clipped. Um, yeah. So it's like a more correct field. Um, the only problem with this is that now that although it's a correct field, it's not correct like when you're marching through it. So that like if you were to change this box too much, then when we're close to this box, but moving in the direction of the following box, we wouldn't see it the way it's supposed to be, because it would have moved, like because this distance field would not like it doesn't notice this one because it's still basically like a fract underneath everything. So it doesn't know. It's not detecting the next box. So the fields, like locally, all these fields are correct and the endings of them are correct, but globally they're not. Um, so yeah, so that's anyway, so that's something that we can correct, and this is like the function that would correct that, because we're gonna look like to our left and to our right, and we're gonna have like the union of the boxes to our left and our right of every box. So then that way we get a distance field that incorporates everything around it too, and it'll be globally correct. But we don't need to do that right now. We're just gonna do this, and so we have our field, and now we're going to make 7 of these things, 7 of these long, let's see, I don't know what we're gonna call them, panels, okay? And like, see, the thing is, I don't even know what a pergola is. Like, I don't know why we want them. Like, is this supposed to be for shade? Like, does that look like a lot of shade to you? Like, it's like literally not doing anything. It just looks nice. And I guess it tells you that there's something over there. You should check it out. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna make that now. So, um, it's gonna be, in terms of the x-axis, I'm gonna say that's nice and thin, even thinner than this, like very thin. And then the height will be definitely wider. I think the height will be closer to what we have right now. And then the length will be like into the z-axis will be nice and long. So if we do this, kind of getting there. So now we can lower or we reduce the spacing. So now we'll talk about the spacing. Now this is also really interesting. So right now I created a spacing variable, but I didn't even use it because we're not really doing anything with it. But if we were to use it, it's like this. We divide by the spacing and then we multiply by the spacing. So dividing by the spacing, it's like, let's say if this was 2, so then we're taking all the space in the world and we're saying like, so wherever we were 2, now we're 1. Wherever we were 4, now we're 2. So we're squeezing things in more before we do our rounding value so that the ID that we get out is like an ID that's actually talking about a larger area than we were before. And then we use this ID at the end to multiply it back so that that ID that was talking to about a larger area, we actually make it, we make it, what do you call it? Because like if we took an ID, like if we took, um, let's just, okay, if we took 0 to 1, right? That was originally we had 0 to 1, but then we divide by 2, so we get 0 to 2, right? So then we get the round value and the ID for that value. So since we divided by 2, that 0 to 2 is also in 1. And so the ID for all of that 0 to 2 range is 1. But if we want to subtract back into the original, we have to multiply it by 2 so that that space of 0 to 2 is actually applied to 2. So we got now a space that goes from 0 to 2, basically. But like, there's some differences, but that's the basic thing. So we multiply 2. So if we do that, we get a larger space. Whoops. So 2. Why is it invalid? What's going on? ID is, oh yeah, sorry, it's SP, not ID. That explanation sucked. Okay, so now let's do the other way. We want to make things like, want to bring things in more. That's actually looking real nice, right? That's like first try, right? Like, isn't that close enough? I mean, I guess we could go more in, but I don't know. Like for now, I'm liking that. And then we make our box. Now there's ways that we can, so one thing I might want to do, because you can see the way that this is modeled is it kind of like curves in. I mean, it's very specific and I don't know how much I want to play around with that, but because it goes like, it goes straight down and then it goes like, and then it curves down more. Oh, God. Thank you. Sorry. So we're gonna do that. Um, let's see. So we'll take our, so the length, that's what happens here. And we're talking about this. So if we want to change the, like the shape of it along this axis, the Z axis, then we have to do something on Z. And what we're going to do on Z is we're just going to try to do that. So we have the cosine function, which along 0, let's see. What we don't want a cosine function because that's going to be smooth. We really want something that's goes lower as y goes down. So like if we were to subtract like y, but like a very small amount of it, then you see that? Like that's basically doing that. Although I don't know why it's breaking already. Maybe because it's moving outside the bounds. Let's see. That looks okay. So that's like a, you know, one way to do it. And then if we want to say like that top part, so it's like it's not always y. It doesn't start immediately. Um Also, it's really interesting that, oh right, because it's like it's from positive, y goes from positive to negative. So adding any amount there, it's gonna be like this, so that works out. But what if we say anything above the absolute value, like have no change? So just have like a maximum. So like max, right? And then we'll be like this and then 0. That's the opposite of what we want. But you see what I mean? So then a min there. So that's really close, right? Like that's really close to this thing without a lot. Maybe I can zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Is that, I don't know if that actually zooms in for you, but um yeah, there's no, oh right, here. Right. Okay, there. I'm trying to get this, and we're kind of close. It's not perfect, but I kind of like it. See? So let's leave that for now, because it was like so easy and like and cheap, and like we got it working, and that's always like that's usually a good sign. One second. Okay, so now we're gonna make another box, because now we're gonna work on the the top ones, which are like even thinner and smaller. I guess what's gonna be the same is like the thickness. Well, it's gonna be on a different axis now. Now the x-axis is the long one, and then the y and the z are gonna be like that point zero whatever. So we're gonna copy and paste this whole thing. Whoops, hold on. Copy this there, and then we're not gonna declare the variables again. We're not gonna declare again. We're not gonna declare again, and then we're gonna have like h. So like h. And the reason why we're gonna have h is because I have a little function up here, a defined function that actually adds like it adds the or sorry, it gets the union of the distances, but then whatever the smallest distance was, it's going to use that the ID from that. So it's doing two things at once so that we can color it later really easily. So that's why I use H, specifically those names, because it defines, it's almost like a macro. Like when I press add H, it actually is going to say all of that. So it uses T, the name T and the name H to do its thing with it. So um, yeah, so I think the spacing is going to be less, and I think there's 12 of them, so like 5 and 5 is close enough. It's like 11 now, or maybe you go like 12, and then we're gonna do the SDF box. So let's see what that looks like. I just added more of them, so we have to move these up above and then over there, and so we're gonna go this y, and we're gonna move up. So that's negative because we're moving the zero down. So that's too much. Like, and basically it's gonna be whatever the difference is between this and the last one. So last one's height was 1. So the last one's heights, the dimension was 1, and then for a box that's like double that. It's either this or 2 then. What did I just do? Why does that look like okay, and then we have to rotate it. So not rotate it, but we have to say, let's get rid of this. Now it's the y that's the long one, and then these two are gonna be what we had for that, for the x of the first one. And now what is it complaining about? SDF box no matching function. I need to have another bracket. What? Okay, and now we're rotating, or sorry, we're doing the repetition on x. It should be on z now. So everything should happen on z. There we go. So we need longer. I'm liking it. It just needs to be much longer. Yeah. I think. Um, I think these could be thinner. 2, 2. How's that? And I feel like on one dimension even thinner. Like that. Yeah. Okay. And then I wish they came out further. Or like that. 7 maybe? Something like that. Like basically trying to go for this. So we have the things underneath and then this. So oh yeah, I'm feeling like these ones are like either too long or too high, like too tall compared to, I mean, I guess it all looks too big. Hold on. Let's make these longer. Yeah, because I guess on one axis it's doing one thing, on the other one. So they're overlapping, but they're not like this, they're like that, basically, is what I need to do. So, um, reduce the height. I feel like that's better. And then reduce how high the next one is, like down to here. Yes, that looks right. Okay, so now as we have this, um, something about it still feels off, but maybe it's just, I don't know, it's too something, too wide or too, I don't know what. It could be these. Maybe these have to go in. That's too much though, like 4 or 5 maybe. Now what? All right. Okay. So, and there's a lot of artifacts, eh? I guess this thing is jagged. Um, that looks good. Now we gotta go ahead. I'm just gonna call this Pergola. And we're going to reduce the or move the camera back so that we can see things better. And yeah, that's okay. I can see what's going on there. The ambient occlusion is really doing things to it now. Now we're going to add, so now there's another layer of like pretty much the same shape as this one, but like going, it's gonna be 2 of them going like that, and then 2 of them going like that underneath. So let's just go straight into that. So we're gonna take this shape, but just have 2 of them. And it's gonna be another H. And so instead of this, I don't know, it's only 2, not 3. So instead of using this whole function with the clamp and everything, we can maybe use SP, but we don't want to declare it again. And we're gonna just use abs on what axis is it? It's the x-axis. So pp.x equals abs pp.x and then minus sp, and then but we have to bring it down because right now it's probably right underneath like this. So that, and then h, and then add h. That's that. So what's going on? Why does that feel? Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. It should be Z, this one, because we're crisscrossing. So Z and Z and wait. Yeah, and so this one should be the same. What's that good? Sorry. Okay. Um so it should be Z, yeah. So it's weird because the code isn't crisscrossed because I ended up going middle and then above, and now I'm going below. But it's crisscrossing, guys. So this and then this and then wait. So basically this should be happening. Oh yeah, so we're just literally stealing this, putting that there, and then taking this and putting it there. And then error, where's the error? What did I do? I stole from something? Yeah, I should have just copied. I cut there, and then there. Okay, there's our thing again, and just make them longer, because, I don't know, because it should be longer. Why is it not long? Like, why is it so short? Oh, I guess because it's competing with these ones, so it looks shorter. Right, and we gotta move these out, and also this, it's gonna be double. So we're gonna do this, but then we're gonna do this again. So let's move the first one out, and let's not do. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just do like 8, and then like this. So there, that's what we want. And now, move them out more on the 8, like that. And then in terms of height, it shouldn't be as much. It should be like this. Yeah. All right. So does that look kind of like where we are here with this one now? Sorry, this one now. And now we're gonna do another one of those. So we're just gonna take the same thing, copy and paste it, but change. That was so confusing. Um, what in the world? Guys, I'm struggling to move this away. There we go. Okay, so now copy paste this whole thing, put it down here, and we're gonna go X, 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 and then here we're gonna flip these. So I feel like there's like a way to do this where we flip everything. I don't know. Anyways, so like if I go like this, like what is the way to rotate this and this one with like the least amount of actual copy and paste? Like does anyone know that? Like if I go like this, if I take these two and put them here, no, if I could take like I'll just go like this and do that. But no, I need the comma. So I want to keep a comma. So what if I take these two and put them here first? And then I take this one and put it here. I mean, but I feel like there's a shorter way. I just can't think of it right now. Anyways, there's another one. I kind of like that, but you know, the actual thing was like, we move it down. So let's just move it down like there. And actually, they were going inside, like they were cutting into it in the original image. So let's cut into it with everything. Like let's cut in like that. And then that one's still cutting in like that. Perfect. And I feel like in terms of height, in terms of sorry, width or length, I don't know why these ones seem so much like I think they're all too long. So we're gonna bring these in, not like that though, like that, and then we're gonna bring these in too, like that. Why does it seem so weird? This shouldn't be like this one. Okay, maybe you have to bring. I don't know. Okay, we're leaving it, you guys. So there's our pergola so far, um, that we're working on. I want to change the angle a bit, but I think the angle I need right now is going to be like looking up. What do you guys think? So that we can see what we're doing below. And oh, I just realized, I don't know, we're getting too exact. If I get too exact, it's not going to help. So like this, but like I feel like I could go below the thing like this. Or like even like this. So now we're seeing what's happening from underneath, which is actually the angle of the original one. So I'm surprised we weren't already doing that. I'm seeing, ooh, okay. So now that we have that, we're gonna add legs on this bad boy, which are these. And I'm thinking like we can separate that into like, yeah, it's separated into like just a cube. I mean like, you know, like a rectangular prism that goes straight through these guys. And then they're gonna add two of these on here and then try to like do some sort of thing on them. And we're gonna do that on four because there's four of them here. So we're gonna use yeah, we're going to use ooh because we need to make it so that these things like we need to make sure that the orientation is the right orientation with all of them. I don't know what would happen if I just go like absolute and then absolute. So I might want to just have like one peg and like one like the long one and then like a small one facing one way so that I can see what happens when I duplicate it. Because I'm not, for some reason, I'm not able to picture what will happen right now, but that's really important. So that's what I'm going to do now. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this, and they're going to go like this. Hold on. Also, should I change my lighting so you can see things a bit more, like make things a little bit more high quality right now? Because I'm sure this is kind of looking like I don't really, these flies are killing me. Like I don't really do, you know, like I'm not really doing this stuff, man. This YouTube stuff. And in fact, I am. I really am. Okay. Ah, there are fruit flies that are just I don't know, man. Like I know they don't bite or they don't bite human skin very hard, but it feels like it's as if they are. It's as if they are, man. I don't know how much of this I can take. Before we make the pegs, I want to make these a bit wider. So that's this one. So that we have more space to work with. Why is it creating a new one in the middle? Why is it creating a new one in the middle? Stop that. Can I get rid of that somehow? No. There's a new one in the middle of all the other ones. This sucks. It was there. How long was that? Was that always? Oh, it's because I made another. Oh my god. Freak me out. It's because I made another line. Alright, so, sorry. Let's do this. Let's do that. More space. And more space that way. Yep, like that. And then the same thing with here. This, and then that. And then that. That's too much there. I think that's good. Yeah, this is weird proportions, but okay. So there, and then there. And it's gonna poke through all four of them. Like right there. Okay, new one. It's just gonna be a very long box, and the height, or the width and height. I mean, sorry, what do you call it? Like, what do you call the Z? The Z, man. The Z and the X are gonna be nice and small. So what if I do this? And it's gonna be one of them. That gives us a good idea of what we're going for. And now we're gonna go absolute value. So now we got this, and we can position them already. Like 3.5. All right. And then, oh yeah, and I was gonna add another little thing on top to help guide us so that we know where we're going. These flies, duh! These fruit flies are gonna kill me. You know what it is? Well, it's just the whole situation, man. Like, roommates and me just not making sure that the garbage is how it's supposed to be, man. Okay, so min of this, of H, and another one, yeah. I think we need another bracket. Okay, so this and that. And now this one is going to be a nice kind of small one. So it's going to be a bit long. We're going to say it's on the X axis. Yeah, X axis. But, and then very thin and even, so very like not that tall, and then even thinner like that. So like that. Yeah. We want that. But we want that on two axes. So how do I do that? Another one. So it feels like this is like a problem now. So then another one, but then instead of that, it's gonna be like this. So now we have two, and let's put them up here. So basically, let's increase P now by what we reduced it by, if that makes sense. And then double it. So we go, okay, more than double it. We want to go like there so we can see it. So I'm going to move the camera back down so I can get a good look at what we're doing. All right, we got this. And then, I think I also want to move them out, like just so that they're right where they would be in the actual final thing. And then that way we'll be able to get a good kind of view. So if I go, let's see, what's this gonna give us? What did I just do? Okay, that other way though, like that. And why does that look so weird? What is it doing? Because it's making a cross. I don't know, man. Okay, let's just do one for now. All right, so we have this. which does technically make sense for one of them. And then we're gonna double it though. So if we double it, this is where I think things might go really bad. This fly is driving me crazy. And then on X, on Z, like this. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen, and that's not what I want. I want to be like this. Um, actually, doesn't that work? Doesn't that work out? You have that on one side. So there's X's facing each other there and there. And then you want to have Y's facing each other there and there. So maybe that will work. Okay, and now, so we did that. Now we want to do the Y's. So let's not do this globally. Let's do it locally. So we're gonna take our P and we're gonna do um 0.4. No, first we'll just do nothing. And we'll, oh wait, yeah. This can be global. But then the X will be local and it's gonna be added. And then I'll do that, and then that, and then that. Right? So, boom. What? Okay. Alright, so what do we have now? So now we have one that comes out like that, and then we have another one that does that. I think we might have to make this a separate whole thing. Alright, let's make it a separate whole thing, because it's not gonna work. It's like, because the way the absolute values are doing things is just making everything else bad too. Unless it can be like, oh wait, that's only one of them. Hold on. So that's this. Okay, so now if we want to do the same thing for the other one, then we have to go like this. And then shouldn't that work? Yes, that works. Okay, yes, that's what I wanted. Yeah, okay, guys. Perfect. Now the only thing we could do, or that we might want to do now, is like rotate it. We should do that, right? We should rotate it. Now, how are we going to do that? How are we going to rotate on a different axis for each P? Do you have to make another P? Okay. This is now the coding is starting to suck. But let's go like PP2 equals PP. So now we can be like PP is going to be rotated. And that PP is going to be for, right, that's PP2. That PP is going to be for the one that moves on the x-axis. So it's long on this axis. So we're going to rotate it on the z and the y-axis. And so we're going to go rot YZ. We're going to do a rotation of, I don't know, like 0.5. No, is that the wrong axis? I said it's moving on X, so we're rotating on... Oh, stop it! If this fly doesn't stop, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's because there's a bright light on. And the fly's just like, what's going on over here? Oh, sorry, boom, boom, just fucking running right into me. I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna do? I'm trying to rotate and somehow I'm rotating on the wrong axis. And I don't know why. Yeah, right, because if X is going this way, then that is one of the axes that we need, and the other one is Y, so it should be XY. My bad. So there we go. That's one. And then now for the two. Oh. Now I'm just itchy all over because this fly is just making me think that it's everywhere. It's crazy. It's fucking omnipotent fly, man. I mean, omnipresent fly. Nope. And now this one has to be not that. So now the one that's on Z is going to be ZY. Yeah? ZY. Now that's got to be white. ZY. There. Alright, okay. Move everything out a little bit. I'm dying. You guys, I feel like there's flies all over me right now, man. And I can't take it. Okay, like that. More? Four? Four? Yeah, that looks even five. 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 And I want to rotate more. That's like literally not enough, you guys. Seven. I don't know what the actual angle is. I'm just going for an angle. And so there we go. And now we got to bring the whole thing back down. Right? Like that. Oh, that's the wrong way. Like one, like two, 1.5, like that. Why does that look so stupid? That looks so bad. It looks so bad already. Why does it look so bad already? What the heck? See, now this is making me mad. Because these pegs are supposed, okay, so these have to be lower. These have to be lower down. All right, so now that we figured out how to do this, let's back up a bit. Okay, we're gonna comment out all of the stuff for now, except the add H, so that's valid. Okay, so we're just gonna work with this. Um, and we're going to move everything so that it's where it's supposed to be. So we want to go like this. Okay, first let's bring everything up so that it's about to be like right in there. Yeah, that's looking good. And then 3. And then let's go like 1. No. That's good. But bringing it in more. Yes. Yes? Is that a yes? That looks good to me, right? It looks good to you? I want to bring the whole thing up so I can see things more clearly. P X plus, that's down, isn't it? Yeah, that's down. And then like that. All right, we're seeing things pretty clearly. Okay, that looks good, man. So now it's just about putting those things back in, and we'll see how those work out. They're going right through the top of the thing. So we gotta reduce the size of them, and the size is dictated by this. So let's do like 3 or 2, I don't know, 2. Where's the other one? It's gone. Hold on. 3. Okay, and then 3 on both of them. Alright, I think we gotta go for... Oh, right, and now we can reduce the... We can go like this. Because we're not too far in now. Um... Um... Let's see, 3.5. 3.5. Like that. And then there's another thing that we can do. Hold on. First, let's move this to... let's move the camera so we're looking down, or looking up at it. Alright. So that's looking okay, but these wooden boards still look annoying, like this, because it's just like those like middle ones that I created, they're just like rectangles. Like it kind of works, but it kind of looks dumb. Also, the position, they should be further to one side, um, and that's actually gonna make it look cooler. But I would rather, I think I want to do this thing, like just like what we did at the very beginning with that one. I want to do that with those smaller ones. So it's just going to be like a smaller version, based on whatever the length is. Save. So right now, let's see. So for this one, when the length is being determined by this, we're going to have, we're going to take this and we're going to just add a small amount because we don't want to add 0.7, maybe like 0.13 there. I wish I could have like a way to quickly see just what that looks like, but I can see it. Wait, no, I can't see it. Um, I don't know what I'm looking at. I think I'm doing the opposite direction. So let's do this. Like, I don't know if anyone's seeing this, but I'm trying to adjust it. Is that too small? How about this then? You guys, are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? No, we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing any changes. Fine, let's just do H. Now we can see it, okay? So now what are we trying to do? We're trying to make it so instead of having rectangles, they kind of do that at the top. So they flatten out like up there. So I want to, so these are the H's, and we're trying to change the length of it based on the Y. But so far, oh, because Y is negative. I see. Is that it? No? I don't see it changes. I saw 0 changes. Minimum of Y and what if I just get rid of that? Just do, oh, because PY. Hold on. Minimum of PPY. No change. Why is it so small? Now that's working. Why? Okay, so is that what we gotta do? I guess so. For some reason, I thought that we would have like more room. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do this here and here. I'm seeing the fruit fly is right in the vicinity, man. Like it is like on its way over, man. What happened here? How come this one is long, but then the other one is way shorter? What is going on? Oh, I gotta use PP2 because I use a different variable there. So that's what I like. That's the best I could ask for there. So now let's go back to T. Like no one even sees that really, but like I just for me for like to feel like I did the right thing. Now I feel like these should be longer. These like what do you call them? Stumps? I don't know. I feel like that should be longer. But is it coming up through the thing? Kind of, eh? Well, we can change the angle of, or we can change the height just for this. But then the other way. So I guess add it. We'll add it in there. That's the best that we could ask for. Okay, so now the last thing is moving things, positioning that so instead of being in the middle, it's like right where it's supposed to be. Or we can just make them really thick instead of thin. Like what? Like so just a deviation from the original. And also we could have like a sine wave pattern for like the shaping of it instead of just having whatever pattern they had. And so that'll be like adding a little frill or our own little I don't know, making it interesting. So we'll just do this and we'll go like 1. Yeah, why not, right? And then here we'll go, wait, oh, the fly. And we'll go here like that. There we go. Look at that. That's cool. So now we're gonna make, um, we're gonna use a cos, no, a sine wave because sine wave starts from 0. So then I guess it would help make things more flush to the original thing. I don't know. Let's see. Sine and then it's whatever the whatever axis is the long one. So right now that's X, so we're gonna do that. Oh boy. What in the world? No, that did not do what I wanted. Okay. Right. This is the one that we should add it onto. So this and then PPY. And then it should be a lot smaller than what I was originally about to do there. Let's see. I don't see anything. Still no. Okay, let's change. So Y. It shouldn't be Y. This should be, in here should be X. That's my mistake. So there. Okay, now let's change this. Ooh, that's nice. But how about like 8? Ooh, now that goes, oh, that goes hard, eh? And then this, and then we can reduce the amplitude so that we can still see it. And then we have something like that. We could even go like 24. That's pretty cool. 20? like 16. I like that. I'm liking that. We can also change where it starts from, like this. Anyways, so there we go. So we're gonna do that on both of them here and then here. But this time, instead of X, it's gonna be Z because that's the long one there. And now we have that. So now we've got like our own little chain, our own little shape. See? It does that there. Okay. And it goes around. Like, I think that's okay. I don't know. All right. So that's holy shit, you guys. We're pretty much finished. I don't know, like what else should we do? Let's see. Let's go back to here. That's what we made. We can go like, whoops, we can go like this. Or maybe just like this. We can move out more like this. Or even like all the way like out here. Or like this. And I'm gonna change the rotation of the whole thing to just rotate all the time. And then we're gonna make this higher so it's like that. That's cool, man. Look at that. Now if we want to add anything else, I would add on like stumps to the bottoms of it. Why not? Why not do that? So that's going to be, let's do that here before we do any other changes. H equals, and we'll just be like min H. Well, it's gonna be HX, sorry. HX equals H, and then another thing. And then we won't have this, just be like that. And then that one is gonna be the same dimensions, but a wider bit. And then way lower. Okay, way shorter. Yeah. Oh, that looks cool. I kind of like the idea. Like, I would like to have like that all the way down. I feel like I'm getting greedy. Well, okay, let's put it at the bottom. That would, did you see? Did you see how I did that? Like, it automatically went exactly to the right place. Like, did you see that? Please tell me you saw that. Because I just guessed 0.5 and I got it right. I don't know, that feels good. It feels good to get it right. Oh, another thing I can do is I can twist all of these. I can twist all of these. But then that's gonna twist everything. I don't know if I want to do that. I could like save the PP. Oh, it's like PP. And then after this, then I can be like PP equals PPO. So then I can twist just the poles, but leave that other thing alone. So I just go like PPO. No, wait, sorry, PP is rotate. And we're gonna rotate, oh, PP XZ. We're rotating based on the PP, or no, the original PY. So it rotates and does a spiral twist thing. That's cool, right? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we could do even more like this. Why not? That's like my signature style now, man. I don't know, like I keep doing that. And then in terms of the actual shape, like the bigger shape, it would be cool to do like a bend in like the whole thing. Like just like this, but like it goes like whoosh. Could I try? Should I try? I think I should try that. Where would I start with that though? Because it has to happen. Where does it has to happen? It has to happen only for the top stuff, not the bottom stuff. It has to happen for just the first three, like this, this, that, and that. Huh. So we need to have like a PO and then be like P equals PO. So we're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna do something a bit crazy here. We're gonna be like P, vector 3 PO equals P. And then for P, we're gonna just make a sine wave. P, what side? PX or PZ? PZ, It's gonna be like, let's see, we're gonna go try going down first, and we're gonna use the cos, because cos is 0 at 1, and then we're gonna use px, and then let's see what happens. Ooh, that was my mistake. Yeah, we went up. I wanted to go down, right? How's that? Oh, it's doing ooh. Nope. Um, it's not what I wanted to do. Um, right, I wanted to go on Y. My bad. So yeah, I was completely right before with the one with that, but it's too much. So let's just go um there. Now it's like almost like a little bit of a Japanese style, I guess. You know how that happens? Although now these things, so and we'll just bring it up a bit. And so we're gonna go up like that. The fucking Urgh. What do you think? Is this cool? Is this a cool little thing? Just rotate it on more axes. So now you can see it on all its dimensions. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh man. Now there's some artifacts. Oh, I don't like the way it looks at the top. Only because like I feel like, yeah, there's some stuff I don't quite like. Maybe we can just reduce the length though. Because I feel like it's already a bit too, like the length of these small things at the end here. So we're just gonna go, I guess um, because we added more length to it with that thing, now we're gonna take some length away. Yeah. And then also, I mean, yeah, because we spiraled it, I think the spiraling made this part look weird. Maybe it's like, we need to do this. I don't know. Yeah, that looks better. It's not perfect. Do you know what would be really good? If we just use like a smooth min instead of min? Do we have smooth min around here? I don't, but that's what you could do. You could use a smooth min. I won't do it. What else? Is there anything else that I need to do here? I would love to put it inside like on some sort of ground. Oh, right. Oh, right. What am I saying? I have to color everything. Oh, I can't so okay. So I have to re-enter shader toy so that it asks me if I'm a human being so that I can save. Now that I've done that, we're going to what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, color and then add some ground, I think. So we'll just do color. Oh no, what happened? Color, color. So there's some color. Um, I want to change the sky. I want to change the sky color to like, I mean, I want to add a sky color. Hmm. I don't know. For now, let's just make it brighter. Because this dark thing is like affecting things now. You can barely see it like this. Even that's cool. Okay. So there's the sky, or there's a not black. And we didn't, what we didn't do properly was the IDs, I guess. Oh yeah, that's a whole other piece of work. Yeah, so if you want bonus points, you can take the IDs that we generated and then put them in. Well, we should already put them in. But what I mean is like you can make you can do a hash right after this. And so we're gonna go ID. That'll already change things a bit. Like these things are gonna be different. I'm gonna get rid of the ambient occlusion now because I feel like it's kind of distracting things. So we're gonna go 0. All right, now, and then what else? And I'm gonna make, just to make things more clear, we're gonna do that. I think that's a bit brighter. And we're gonna do, yeah. So colors for this one, we should change ID. ID equals #11 ID. Now we got a bunch of IDs, right? So now the wood is a different color each time. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So we get more IDs. But then this time we're going to jumble it up a bit. So we got more IDs now. All right. And then the same thing, except now we should use the IDs that we created from the moving of things. So like you see these are now our IDs. Or, well, I mean the ID is basically like greater than 1, less than 1. Well, this is going to be confusing. I think I'm just going to not go too crazy here, but now ID is going to equal float pp, no, p.x is less than 0, right? That's now an ID because we've moved things on either side based on that. So now we put ID in here and we get different colors, but that inside part is the same on each one. So we just have to, if that matters, you just want to watch out for that, but I'm going to leave it here just to make sure I'm still having fun, basically. And then we're going to do the same thing with the Z, but plus the X2. Like that. That. And then we're going to add some weird amount. Like this. And then we're going to put the ID in here. Now we should have different colored legs. Yeah? Because we put the Z and then the X in. And then we add some weird amount to it. Hold on. There. Okay. And then what else? And then the feet. I don't know. They're just the feet. Like, who cares? I guess we could just... Yeah, I guess it's already fine. Okay, so now we've got a wooden thing that looks like the wood is different colors, but it's kind of like a lot of differences. I almost feel like that's making it look less realistic. I don't know. Does that make sense? I could do this. But then the other problem is like, why does it look so, like, why does this look like I can barely see it? I guess in full screen it's better. That's what we have now. So we can see that the wood is like, we've given each thing like a different color for the most part, so that things look different. Although those like holder things could also be a different color. That's what, yeah, we leave that for now. I don't know. Then what was I thinking? And I guess just play, oh, what time is it? How long have I been doing this for? Oh, and if I didn't even check, okay, there's no viewers, so it doesn't matter, but I wasn't checking anything. It's been an hour. It's basically done, it's done time. But if I were to get rid of this, then, you know, there's some options here. Like you can go like p dot x, I guess, and then you can just repeat it. P dot x and then like 2, and then like this. Oh, that messed up. Yeah, that's not what I expected. You could do that. I mean, I guess if you do this, then everything will repeat inside, and we wouldn't want that. But this seems to cut off the legs, so I guess stop that. I guess we're gonna have to, gonna have to go wider. There. So now we've got, oh my God, the fly. So now this almost looks like a bridge. Like, isn't that cool? We've got a bridge for free. I mean, it is. Oh, so if we wanted to like specifically a bridge, by the way, this is always, let's see, we can be like, it's always going to be this. And we can just decide what, decide what we want this to be. Like, that's cool, right? Or like that, or like this, no, wait, 6. Like, that's cool. It's like we just made a bridge out of a pergola. Um, And then we can move along the bridge, can't we? But then we'd have to angle ourselves a certain way. Because I mean, if we go like if we make the bridge go this way, like I feel like that's another way to do it. Like we could just repeat it this way instead. And now we're like, oh, that's actually already cool. So now we could just move through this thing. Whoops. Other way. And I don't know what that artifact is about, but maybe it's because we started. Okay, start again. So now we can go through this world that's actually a giant pergola. A giant repeating, never-ending pergola. And we're just moving through it. And you can see around and there's artifacts and whatever. Or we can go on top of it and see what's going on up there. Oh, that's the other way. And like down here. I don't know, like, okay, but yeah, so I feel like this fly is actually trying to like affect me, man. This has been just like an incredible day with this fucking fruit fly. Wow. With this fucking fruit fly here. It's pissing me off, man. It's been an incredible day. Yeah, we could do, why does that change? Oh, right. So that's the ray origin. So that actually is changing like the view. And we can go underneath and then be looking up. Yeah. So there's some cool stuff there too. And we could repeat it on both axes. You know, like XY or XZ, sorry. Uh-oh. And then we have to just move ourselves out of the way a little bit, but like you'd be like that. Whoops. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe we should do that before this. Yeah, wow, that was cool. So there we go. That's a weird, it's like a just giant pergola. Like a, I don't know. It's just an endless pergola, man. Right. Well, now what? And then we go up above it. That's pretty cool. Endless pergola. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Oh, right, and some lighting. Wow, I've been going about this a different way than usual. Like, I've been really just like waiting to the last minute to realize, oh wait, I haven't even done anything yet. Okay, so lighting. Let's start with diffuse lighting, and we're just gonna do it the dumb way. I have some lighting ideas I want to try out, but for now, we're gonna do it the dumb way. We got this, and we're gonna add on some amount, well, let's just say, okay, so first we're gonna make a light, LP, and that's gonna be a normalized, uh, 1, 2, I don't know, 3 light, and then we're gonna go max, 0, 0, 0, and then dot of LP and normal. So now we're gonna, whoops, normalize, whoops, yeah, I gotta call that a vector 3. So now, why is the artifact? This thing is having problems today. I'm not exactly sure why, but specifically today, like something is just not handling artifacts well at all, or not handling geometry well. Not sure what. Anyways, so then we're gonna do the diffuse. We're gonna add it. We're gonna take this. and expand it like 10. And then the inside, it's just gonna be dot, but then it's gonna be like reflect at LP, and it's gonna be like the negative LP. And then outside of that, we're gonna have the negative RD, and then another one. And then now we got lighting. And then stop it. And then the last thing is we want to add to the geometry to add some roughness, which I've just been doing just blindly adding. So G noise equals FEM P, and then adding G noise. Boom. Wow, what did I just do? My bad. Yeah, that was an accident. I just made like I made a cave. I just made a cave. So there's a few things we could do to experiment while we're here. We could try to increase the scale of P. That makes things more crazy. We could decrease the scale of P. That makes that. Or we could leave that the same and reduce the scale of noise. That's a bit much. Like this. Wow, it looks like a chocolate, like make-believe. Okay. This. Ooh. 8. Ooh. Okay, we'll take that and then we'll reduce the whole amplitude of that. See if we can just keep some of the roughness, but leave it alone after that. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Okay, first of all, this thing is moving too fast. So I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Alright, yeah. So what do you guys think of this noise? Literally noise. Is that okay? Is that too much? It's definitely got slow. Wow, eh? Um, yeah, it's not where it's supposed to be. Like I want it in the center. If I'm gonna do it at all. And there's also this to look into. There's no reason not to try that. That helps us see more of the lighting. But then again, let's reduce the rotation because guys, we're just getting ourselves dizzy here before we even done anything today. And then in terms of the save that, and I think I'm ready to make it public. And then let's see, where are we? Where's the camera? Right. So the camera, that's cool. Why don't we add a ground plane? Hello? Like we're missing out. We could have a ground plane here. Give it its own. Yeah, so we'll just be like uh X, or sorry, wait, no. Yeah, we'll just be like H equals, and it'll just be like a ground plane. Not even SDF box. It'll just be like P PY plus something so that it's lower. Where are you? And then add H to add it in. Yes, that's too small. Or it's too close to the screen. This. There's our ground plane. Now let's change the ID. Let's just give it like a unique ID, like, I don't know, the first 4 digits of my phone number, and then the rest of the digits of pi, 0.141592. Right. Now we have this. There, we made a whole world out of a pergola. What do you think? Is that cool? Would you buy one? Would you buy a pergola from me? Um, let's see. Yes, that's the level of roughness. Now, here's the other problem. Because yes. There's like, the IDs are changing. Like, we're not detecting normals, so when there's 2 of these, then the IDs are just different. I don't know. Okay, so it's kind of a mess, basically. And I want to change the angle, I think. So, like, I like making Actually, wait. So for noise, hold on. Is there a way to add, like, if I do this first, right, I'm gonna do this first. Why did I do that? And then I'm gonna add a lot of noise, like a bigger noise, to this, like, like that, so that there's more of like, more more stuff happening. Is that okay? I don't know. All right, like this, and that, maybe like this. I don't know. See, whatever you do is affecting everything else. Yeah, so there. I don't know why there's so many artifacts, man. This one has just been weird today. Just specifically today. Yeah, I don't know. Like it starts getting weird like already at like 1 minute in. The only other thing I can think of is like if we instead of changing what's happening in map, we change what's happening in, or is it the noise function itself? Oh, right. Yeah, so it could be the noise function. Hash 3D noise could be the thing that's the problem. I'm gonna pause for 1 second. So I've got noises that I can use instead of that one. I got a 3 in, 1 out. I can use to replace this one. And maybe that will help. Call it hash. Compiling. Ooh, it's slow. Ooh, what? Yeah, I've been having this problem where this hash function is super slow. Like that compiled in 9 seconds, guys. Okay, I don't know why this noise is faster. You would think it would be slower because it has a whole bunch of sine waves, but for some reason, it's faster than the other noise from David Hoskins. I don't know why, but that just, yeah, I just keyed in on that. I clued in on that there. So, what are we doing? What's left? What's left? This, just move on 0, like that, and then this maybe. Is this something? Is this cool? Is this cool enough? Or should I have multiple views? I'll have multiple views. I'll switch it. I'll just be like, if t, if mod t of 4. Okay, if like some small amount of mod t is, and 4 is less than 1, then we're gonna be like that. Otherwise, and we'll have 4 views. 1, 2, 3, 4. Else if, wait, else if, and then else if, and then else. Whoops. All right. So now for each one of those, I'm gonna have a different camera angle. So then we get to see like a bunch of stuff. Like we get to see from different perspectives. So now we'll have this one. We'll have like this one. We'll have like, I don't know, like that one, whatever that is. And then we'll have like this one. All right, what's that gonna do now? So it's got one angle. Let's do that. It should change every like 2 seconds. Now this angle, it's just hitting, and then that angle. Oh wait, I just copy pasted. Hold on. If it's a 1, is it 2? Is it 3? Else, yeah. What? Ooh, 1 angle, 2 angles, 3 angles. That one's not working at all. What angle was that? Okay, so we'll start again. So then 0 is this angle. That one works. And then this next angle doesn't work. apparently. Yeah? Like that's where we are? This angle? So that one doesn't work for some reason. But that does. How about this? How about this? There. Okay, cool. So, and then I feel like this, okay, so now let's go back to that one. I feel like this one could be more interesting. I don't know. All right. So that's the first angle. I hate that we hit this thing, but, and then this angle, that's a cool angle. And then that's a cool angle. And then that's a cool angle too. Kind of, right? Maybe not. What about this? No. One, two, three, four. What are we gonna do with this? This? Cool. Cool, we got 4 angles now. Look at that. We are exploring the F out of this. You know what would be cool? Like some shadows or some god rays. But I'm gonna leave that to like whoever else wants to try something. I'm happy with this. Guys, it's been a great time. I made a pergola and then I turned it. Wait, what's happened? Man, hold on a second. One. Okay, so that's like 3, I think. That's 4. And then 1. And then 2. And then 3. And then 4. Yeah, that's fine. No, that's weird. Oh, I think it's because it's like when we switch to that camera, we're like already going through something. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to leave it. All right. So yeah, it's do this. Guys, it's been great. I had a great time. I hope you did too, and I hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, this was streamed live on Twitch, and it's yeah, that's it. I don't know. All right.